Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now, as most of you may know, Toyota has released the configuration and also the build your own tool for the brand new 2024 4th Gen Tacoma. But if you go to the build your own, it stops at the limited. It does not show the Trailhunter and it doesn't show the TRD Pro. And also those prices haven't been announced yet. But if you go to the spec sheet, they actually do have the full specs for the Trailhunter and the TRD Pro. So I thought, why not? Let's do a comparison between the Trailhunter and then the TRD Pro based off of the spec sheets, and let's see which one will be more expensive and which one is a more capable truck. I decided to do this because doing some research, I was finding that a lot of people were predicting that the Trailhunter would be cheaper than the TRD Pro, and the TRD Pro would maintain its flagship a status symbol for the Toyota brand to show that this is the most premium, most highest performing trim type for the Tacoma, 4Runner, Sequoia, you name it. However, when we run through the comparison, which will be really quick because I already consolidated everything based off of these 12 categories that you see here, when we do that comparison, I think what you'll find is that the Trailhunter is probably the more capable and more expensive trim type. So like I said, I consolidated all the information from the spec sheets and I found which ones were different. So for the exterior category 1 through 9 are differences found in the spec sheets. 10 through 15, when they have the asterisk right in the front, are features that I identified by comparing pictures because those weren't actually captured in the configuration tool. But let's cover the ones that are announced by Toyota first. If you see yellow, that's basically a subjective feature, so I call it a tie, I guess you can say. If you see green, then that's for sure a feature found on one trim type that is not found on the other one. So let's start with number one. Wheels. The wheels are different. Subjective. Not that big of a deal. They both look nice. Now, 2 through 9 is where the Trailhunter really gets the edge over the TRD Pro. The Trailhunter has a high mount snorkel. It also has the option to have a 5-foot or 6-foot bed. It comes with the ARB utility bar on the bed of the truck with a MOLLE panel. And it also has a high clearance exhaust tip when the TRD Pro just has a more or less cosmetic TRD Pro black exhaust tip. Meanwhile, if we continue with the integrated bed scene lighting, the TRD Pro, you have to option that one in. Meanwhile, the Trailhunter, you can choose between white and amber. You can flip between the two for your fog lights. And I think the TRD Pro only has white. Now, here's another really good feature for the Trailhunter, which is the skid plate, transfer case protection, fuel tank protection, and also an additional rear diff protection. These are all made out of steel. For the TRD Pro, it's all made out of aluminum, and the TRD Pro does not have a rear diff protector. Now, the Trailhunter also has steel rock rails, when the TRD Pro has reinforced rocker protectors. Toyota did not say what reinforced meant, but I'm assuming if it was steel, they would say steel. For 10 through 15, let's go ahead and pull up some photos of two trucks so we can actually do the comparison. Here are the trucks. Now, you don't have 10 through 15 in front of you, so I'll read them off. But basically, you have the Toyota Trailhunter has this bronze badging, when the TRD Pro will have gray. Again, just a cosmetic touch. Same with the single color on the Trailhunter. You have a single color that you choose that covers the entire paint job, when the TRD Pro has the two-tone with the gloss black for the roof, which is kind of common now for Toyota. You'll see that the XSE RAV4 also does that same two-tone with the roof. Also, the Trailhunter has a single color or matching body paint color on the mirrors, and the TRD Pro has the gloss black. And then finally, for the gloss black, the trim all around. So you got the front fascia, you have the grille, and then you also have the fender flares. These are all gloss black. On the Trailhunter, it looks like they're going to be this matte black color. Now, you also don't have a hood scoop on the Trailhunter, but you have a sport hood scoop on the TRD Pro. And then finally, another thing I've noticed is that there is this roof rack, custom roof rack on the Trailhunter that is not on the TRD Pro. However, this roof rack you see here, sometimes it is on photos, sometimes it is on videos released by Toyota, and sometimes it isn't. I think you're going to have to option that thing in, and it's not going to come standard with the Trailhunter. So if we go back to the exterior features, I think what you're going to find is that the Trailhunter just has way more. And with more features means higher price. And so right now it does look like the Trailhunter has more capability, more features, and it will probably be more expensive. But let's continue and move on to where we might find more differences. And there's only 3 more categories that have differences: interior features, safety and convenience, and then mechanical. That's it. Once we cover this, those are all the differences between the 2 trim types. There's really not that much. There's not a whole lot of difference between the two when compared to the 200, 250 specs that are on these trucks. So for the interior, the Trailhunter is not too fancy. It has Toyota Softex seats. It has a leather steering wheel, and then the interior is black and gray, and it has kind of this Trailhunter bronze stitching that covers the interior. And then, however, for the TRD Pro, it has that typical TRD Pro badging across the seats, across the steering wheel, and it also has that black and red interior that is pretty common with the TRD Pro. Now, here's the one thing that the TRD Pro does have that is it's under the interior category, but it's probably a performance feature, which is the isodynamic performance seats. When these came out, it seemed it seemed a little gimmicky. It's kind of cool, but it is a little gimmicky because I don't think your average person that's buying this truck will actually need to use will actually use those dynamic seats to their fullest extent, right? Because not many people buying a TRD Pro are actually doing any kind of Baja racing or high speed off-road racing, but it's still an offered feature. It comes standard with the TRD Pro and people are going to like it. And then next up, we have safety and convenience. This is a weird one because the tail light bump switch is a feature where if you look down here near the tail light, you basically have a button here where you press it on the tail light and then it opens up your bed, your tailgate. The TRD Pro has it, and then Toyota says the Trailhunter does not have it, and it doesn't even say it's an option, but I've seen videos from Toyota where they show people hitting that bump switch for the Trailhunter. So interesting, right? But we'll go off the spec sheet, and right now it doesn't have it. Finally, let's move on to the mechanical performances and features. The TRD Pro does have a TRD Pro cold air intake. It's questionable whether or not that actually does anything. It might just be a cosmetic thing when you open up the hood, but let's just say it's green for as a additional feature. And then finally, the last spec that we have that's a difference between the two is arguably one of the more important ones, is going to be what kind of suspension system you're getting between the 2 trucks. The Trailhunter has the Old Man Emu suspension system, and then the TRD Pro has the Fox Quick Switch 3 suspension system. I might objectively argue that the Fox Quick Switch 3 suspension system is better for the average person. The Old Man Emu suspension system that is coming with this Trailhunter is specifically designed for lots of weight that comes with overlanding, off-roading, and rock crawling. You have a rooftop tent camper on your truck, and then the bed is filled with equipment, and you're going over rocks, you're going over off-roading, you're doing overlanding, and you need a really strong suspension system. That's what the Old Man Emus are built. This specific Old Man Emus are built to do that. Meanwhile, the TRD Pro is, well, it's the Quick Switch 3 technology, meaning you can switch between road performance, road comfort, and then off-road performance. Off-road performance being the Baja racing style, and then road performance probably being more geared towards having fun on the road, and then road comfort probably being, if you're a commuter like me and you have a 9 to 5 and you're driving to work, you're probably going to be in road comfort for a majority of the time. That's it. When it comes to mechanical differences between the 2 trucks from Toyota, from their spec sheets, that's the only difference between these two trim types. I actually just finished covering everything. So now that we've covered everything, which one's going to be more expensive? Which one has more features? I think what we've just compared, it shows the Trailhunter is without a doubt has more features, and it will probably be more expensive. Now I'm saying it will be more expensive, but how expensive? Well, Car and Driver predicted the Trailhunter is actually going to be cheaper than the TRD Pro. I don't think that's going to be the case. Right now, we don't know the price of either of them, but I think we can use the Tundra and the Sequoia to kind of estimate what that price is going to be. So let's look at the Tundra. The first thing we got to do is figure out what is going to be the price of the hybrid engine. Typically, if you look here, if we go to the iForce V6, that costs $67,000. But if you add the iForce Max, which is going to be the hybrid engine, that immediately jumps the price up to $71,000. So it's about So I think it's fair to say that adding the hybrid is going to cost about $3,500. So now we already have a starting point here for the TRD Pro. And then also let's compare the TRD Pro to the Platinum and the 1794 edition. It's about 10 grand more, but then you have to add the hybrid. And so the hybrid costs $69,000. And then the TRD Pro, which only comes with a hybrid, has a base of 72. So we're looking at what, maybe 3 grand higher than the highest luxury trim. So if we go back to the Tacoma, the limited Tacoma with a hybrid would probably cost, in my opinion, around 55. And so then the TRD Pro might sit at around $60,000. And then also we have the Toyota Sequoia right here, where it's relatively similar numbers. The TRD Pro is 5 grand more than the Platinum, and the Platinum is the highest luxury trim type for the Sequoia. So again, give the limited, the hybrid engine, 55 grand, add that 5 grand, you're still looking at around 60 grand for the TRD Pro. Now the last thing will be, how much will the Trailhunter cost? Don't have any data to support it. All we have are those specs that we covered, but I'll just throw out a number. We'll see if I'm right. I will say that the Trailhunter will probably cost around, let's say, $65,000 MSRP. Anyways, those are the comparisons. The exterior features are the biggest differences between the two trim types, and what we just discovered is that the Trailhunter actually comes with a lot more than the TRD Pro. Now, when the prices officially come out, I made my prediction. I'm curious what your prediction is, and we will see exactly what those prices will be. Anyways, that's the video. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more.